What's up, friends? This is Manni, and welcome to the worst weapon in 2025 in War Robots, Claw. On the Dagon, you would argue that 6 of anything is good, and we usually use that rule, and it's true. But in this case, I think I could run around with 12 of those claws, and the performance would still be awful. Yes, of course, I'm using the fortifier version of the Dagon, so we're trading in some more shields for damage, but it still means that the weapon we're using is basically just the performance of the weapon, and it basically does absolutely nothing. I'm gonna prove this to you later in a match where I really only use the Dagon robot, and at the end of the match show you the whole damage I have done. I haven't spawned on purpose any other robot. I was just waiting for the end of the match and showed you the performance done just by those claws on this setup. And I'm telling you, I believe even Orkans at that point would perform better, although that is going to be a hard thing to prove. But yeah, I'm really making a point here. I think that the claw weapon is in fact one of the worst weapons that exists in the game, if not the worst. You only have 350 meters range. That is an awful small amount of range for this type of setup. You also do an additional rust effect that barely seems to make any difference at all. The reload is relatively quick, and you can fire for a long time, but that's because it used to have a much higher fire rate. This weapon used to have a much higher fire rate, and then you would reload more often, but you would hit with much more damage output. This weapon, Pixonic, in case you're seeing this isn't one of those cases where you don't want to have a weapon that's older be meta. This isn't such a case. This is a case of this weapon is completely worthless, and if you don't restore its old fire rate, then this weapon has literally no reason to even exist in the game. It's this bad. It is that bad. In many situations, you can't even hit your enemy because it fires in an arc that doesn't hit under the roof or whatever. It doesn't fly high enough for you to actually fire over cover in most situations, so it is basically only a detriment the way the weapon fires. And it also doesn't seem to hit targets that are falling or that are moving in fast speed sometimes, which should be the case for a weapon that is auto-aiming. And again, the performance, the damage output is underground level. Pixonic, I urge you please to look at the weapon's performance. I know you're not taking my word for it, but look at it, please. Check out the performance across the board compared with other weapons of a similar time release category, and tell me that this weapon isn't completely underground performing, okay? Please look into it, because it is so sad to have a weapon in the game that technically could be interesting, that could be an addition to the game, and it ends up being like this, broken to the ground of complete uselessness, okay? And in this case here, we're even doing a good job, right? I mean, I'm in the thick of it. I'm constantly shooting the enemy, doing everything there is, and you'll see that whatever I shoot barely ever takes any damage, unless somebody else fires at it too. If it's just me shooting, there is no damage coming in. And in this match here, however, unfortunately, I cannot show you what little damage we've done because I do use the Titan also, and we're playing with it, okay? But there is, in a couple of minutes, a match coming. It's gonna be Carrier, the map Carrier, and when that happens, I'll show you that I'm only showing you the gameplay from the weapon, and I'm not playing anything else, and I just show you the full damage done, but in this match, okay? And by the way, if you enjoy the gameplay, you like the constant daily uploads here in War Robots, I am now making daily content, and I hope you're enjoying this, and if so, please consider staying tuned, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it yet, and hopefully catch me in the next video as well. So, we have a luchador up there, scrap metal. That's what I'm trying to make out of him, but I'm not quite there yet. I can hit him a little bit around the corner there with the splash radius that the weapon has, but I feel like I have to shoot from this angle here. Okay, so full damage output coming in here, so he seems to be going down. Yeah, alright, got it. Nice. There's a Ravager robot over there with probably 5 times regulators. And that guy there also is taking a lot of damage, but he's not taking as much damage as I wish he would take. And I'm taking a lot of damage back. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I should have a lot more damage output at that range compared to him. I need a better angle to shoot in there. His reflector just ended, so we're doing good damage now for a second. But I'm also taking so much damage myself. Anyways, then after that, I went into the Ravana for a couple of shots. I got killed shortly after with the Titan there from an Vindicatore Bagliore from this guy. And yeah, so we're just coming in, ending the match real quick, and then show you what we have done here. 70% of the playtime was that Dagon robot with the claw, but yeah, I'm making a case here that this is really the worst weapon in 2025. It's hard to say whether comparing it to the regular Orkans, because they're also absolutely unbelievably bad. And they have been bad like this for a long time. And this is where I'm like, Pixonic, this is a known thing. Why aren't you giving these weapons a little bit of their power back? You know, we're not talking meta ready, we're not talking ultimate state, we're just talking state of being useful, being working, just being functional. Okay? That's what we're talking about. Anyways, second match, we're on Rome now. Now I have the Seeker drone, so I can see the Imugi in the air. I'm actually going to get 2 kills here. Can you believe it? With 0 damage output, I'm actually going to get a kill. This guy, right there. And then we have this guy here. And pop. Unreal. Unreal. There's, like, you can get a kill with 0 damage. Okay, so let's move on further. Alrighty. I'm trying to play it careful because I only have one of those robots equipped. And when I make a decision that this is the topic of the video, basically my video ends the moment I die, you know, because then I cannot show it anymore. So I'm trying to play it careful and not make mistakes that end up in my instant death. I do shoot a Harpy or Siren in the air, even though it means getting a couple of reflected damage back, but at least it's a way for me to do some damage, you know, even if it's just little damage. The damage I take is controllable. It's, I can... Uh-oh, Raptor coming in. Bail it. Bail out. If I go into the center there, then I will be having the Raptor right in front of my face. I don't want that. Another Raptor over here. Okay, we need to reload. And I think the next match, I believe, is the one on Carrier where I show you the stats. And you're not going to believe how no damage we're going to be doing. See, I can almost never actually shoot over cover with this weapon. The firing arc is more detriment than use, because most of the time you can't banana shots around corners because the weapon does not care whether or not you aim to the left or to the right. It just connects the shot, it just tries to connect the shot straight forward. So you cannot make any useful thing here. Here, look at this. 6 weapons hitting him. This is like tickling the guy a little bit. I hit him like 4 or 5 times with 6 weapons. And he walks by and doesn't care. He can jump on me, of course, with his Shenlu. Now I took a battleship hit. And I'm probably gonna die in... Oh yeah, he's gonna jump in me. Wait for it. 3, 2, 1. Boop, death. Alright, and here we are. So, the match just started. These are the first shots I'm connecting with the enemy, okay? So from this moment on, every damage I do is the damage you'll see at the end of the stats, because I do not play any other robot in between. And see, I can't shoot over the cover in front of me. The weapon's firing pattern is awful. Here I can shoot a little bit over it, and I'm doing some good damage, or, well, at least I'm scoring hits. Obviously, we can't quite call it good damage, but we're hitting. And although I am not always able to shoot something, whenever I shoot, I typically should make a hit. But you see this, right? There is no way to connect shots with this weapon. Cover is always in the way. Shields are always in the way. You're not bypassing shields. Even if you do connect shots, it barely does any damage. Now, 2 of my 5-6 weapons are shooting into the wall in front of me, because it's almost impossible to have a direct line of sight with an enemy unless they stand wide out in the open. It is, from the beginning till the end, an awful weapon. And it wasn't always like this. I remember a time when this weapon actually worked pretty well because it had a higher fire rate and you would do a decent amount of damage. It was actually hurting you when you got shot by this weapon, right? But not too much. It wasn't like, oh god, you're instantly dead. No, but at least you felt the damage. Nowadays, no damage. See, and it's even just so troubling just to get into a position where you can fight somebody. Oh my goodness. Getting stuck with a stupid Dagon and his weapons hanging over the size of the robot. 350 meters range, nothing to shoot, nothing to shoot. You have to literally walk inside the enemy base to shoot anything. Still not in range. Here the wall is in between, I can't shoot, I have to come to the side. I'm trying to banana shots, but the weapon does not support this. Let's fire at the Bagliore there. 2 shots is all I got, then he teleported back. I actually got a kill here. And I'm doing my best. I'm using all my skills to do the best job I can with this weapon to do damage. Right? It's just the weapon and the situation simply does not allow this weapon to inflict damage. Okay, there's an Orpheon. Even here, can't shoot over the cover. It's a weapon that supposedly is able to shoot over cover. Nothing. Now I get shot for a couple of seconds, and we're dead. So, I have done my utmost best in this match to use any situation that presented itself for me to do any kind of damage for it. So, I didn't spawn any other robot. I went till the end, waited it out. My team won without me spawning anything else. This is the damage we done. 440,000 damage. That's it. That's all we were able to do in that entire match with this robot. Level 1 Punishers probably would have done a better job. Seriously. Alright, another situation here. The phase shift saved me. It gave him something else to shoot. He did not want to continue shooting at me while I was in phase shift. And so, he selected a different target. Alright, so let's go for this match, okay? And play till the end. Alright? At least there's something I can shoot. The guy was healing almost faster than I was able to do damage to him, with unloading 6 weapons simultaneously at him. This weapon is such a disappointment, and I really think it's one of the worst in 2025. We have a blitz coming up. Phase shifting through, getting some shield back. He's returning into... okay, he's going this way. Let's attack him. His ability was running before, so he's vulnerable now. I'm suppressed for a second time. And recharging. Alright. Reloading the weapons. Nice short 5 seconds reload, right? It would be good. Also here, if you could shoot over the cover, the weapon would be useful if you could shoot over cover, but it can't. You can almost never shoot over any cover with this weapon. Pretty much everything is in front of you, even if there is like an almost clear line of sight. I guess also the part of this video is, or the reason is, ladies and gents, if you are planning to upgrade a weapon, please do not upgrade this, okay? Please save your resources and don't put it into this weapon. It would be a really, really bad choice. So, firing. Connecting a few shots, although flying enemies are often not getting hit. I've noticed that many times. Fast flying enemies are often missed. And boop, this is what damage looks like. This is what damage looks like from a weapon. Open fire, boom, death, you know? Alright, one more situation here till the end, and then we're calling it a day. And of course I would like to hear your feedback. Is like anybody even running this weapon still? I almost never, well, I'm playing in the Champions League, so obviously we're not seeing people run this. I actually never see anyone run this weapon anymore, and there's usually a reason for that. The reason is pretty obvious, and it's a very sad thing to see. It's very sad when a weapon is so bad that nobody would ever even consider using it or putting it on a robot. What a fail you have to do, what a terrible job you have to do as a game developer to make a weapon this bad and this useless and this for such a long time and not change it. not fix the situation, you know? So this is heavy neglect on your part, Pixonic. Come on, do your job. Your job also includes, next to banning hackers, to balance the game. And not just balance it in a way that the new things you're selling are selling the best way, which we all know is happening, but balancing also includes making those things that have become absolutely useless to function properly, you know? To make every robot and every weapon at least function properly. And that is not given in this weapon. So yeah, is this the worst weapon of 2025? I leave it up to you guys to decide. I think the Orkans, the regular Orkans, are probably right up there with this weapon. And probably regular Tulumbas and such. But these weapons here, you shouldn't compare them, or you can't really compare them to Orkans or Tulumbas. Orkans and Tulumbas are like the first weapons that entered the game. Like the first things that ever existed in war robots. And these weapons here were introduced many years later. They should be, according to Pixonic even, they should be much better. The way the game typically works, right? They should be like Decay and Blight and Decay. These type of weapons are not the best weapons anymore, but they're still okay, you know, at least. And that's what this weapon should be. It should be at least okay. Because it was released somewhere around that time as Decay and Blight came out in this year or something, you know? I would assume. But, yeah. This video shows you that, how different it actually is. I hate that the Bersagliere bow deals damage as it increases the amount of hits. I think the weapon should just do a fixed amount of damage, and you connect the shot, you do that damage, period, you know? Without having to connect all 5 shots to see results. It's weird. But yeah, so that's this video. Thanks for watching, guys. Tell me what you think about the questions I raised, and yeah, I can't wait to read your replies. See you then, Manni signing off. Bye-bye.